So these notes are a continuation of the notes that we started in class talking about how to solve trig equations using a calculator. And that first video goes through where the shortcuts come from. And so this video is just a couple examples. Now that you know the shortcuts, let's make sure we can use them in problems that are a little bit less straightforward. So just a reminder, for sine, we know that the second answer is pi minus x, and if you guys remember, x is the first decimal you get when you do sine inverse. Cos is 2 pi minus x, and tan is pi plus x. So those are the three shortcuts that we're going to work with. I also want you guys to recall that for tangent, when we're looking for all solutions, then we know that tangent would be plus pi k, and sine and cosine are both plus 2 pi k. Okay, so here are some more examples. We're going to solve the equation 5 sine theta equals negative 0.83. So first I'm going to go ahead and divide the 5 over. So I have sine theta is negative 0.83 divided by 5. I'm going to make sure that my calculator is in radians because we're doing all of our answers in radians for this assignment. And then I'm going to do second sine, so sine inverse of negative 0.83 divided by 5. So I didn't need to type that in and simplify that ahead of time because I'm using my calculator to solve it anyway. So my first answer, and the one that I'm going to be storing is x, is negative 0.167. I'm going to go ahead and store that. So if I had instructions that wanted me to write answers that were only between 0 and 2 pi, then I would have to take this answer and add 2 pi to it to find the coterminal angle to this one that's positive. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So plus 2 pi. So my first answer for this would be 6.12. Nope, 116. There's my first answer. And then to get my second answer, I just have to remember the shortcut for cos, which is pi minus what I stored in my calculator as x. So I'm going to do pi minus x. And there's my second answer. 3.308. So that's it for answers that are between 0 and 2 pi. If I wanted to write down what all possible solutions would be, I for sure have 3.308 plus 2 pi k. With these two, since they're coterminal, I could say negative 0.167 plus 2 pi k, or I could say 6.116 plus 2 pi k. Those are equivalent. They're the same thing. Okay. Let's go ahead and try another one. We're going to do negative 3 plus 1/4 cotangent theta equals negative 1.847. Okay, so here I'm going to go ahead and add the 3 first. So I have 1/4 of cotangent negative 1.847 plus 3. And then to get rid of the 1/4, I'm just going to multiply 4 to the other side. So I have cotangent theta equals 4.612. And since I can't type in cotangent inverse into my calculator, I'm going to go ahead and put this over 1. And then I'm going to change this to tan, and I'm going to flip that. So that's 1 over 4.612. So now I can do tan inverse of 1 divided by 4.612, and I get that theta is 0.214, and I'm going to go ahead and store that as x, and since it's positive, that's actually my first answer. If I'm looking for answers that are between 0 and 2 pi, that would be the first one. To find my second answer, I look at my shortcut, which is pi plus x. And so I'll say pi plus what I just stored as x. And there's my second answer, if I'm looking for the solutions between 0 and 2 pi. And then if I wanted to write the answer for all possible solutions, I would say 0.214 plus pi k, or I could say 3.355 plus pi k. Those are equivalent answers. So remember, when we do cotangent or tangent, we don't have to have two equations written to find all solutions. We just have to have one because their answers repeat every pi. So that's kind of a unique thing about cotangent and tangent. All right, let's say for a third example, we have 5 equals 1 plus 3 cosecant theta. So first I could minus the 1 over. I would get 4 equals 3 cosecant theta. Then I could divide the 3 over. I get 4/3 equals cosecant theta. I don't have a cosecant inverse button on my calculator, so I'm going to say that this is sine theta, and then I'm going to go ahead and flip that fraction. And so now I can go ahead and do the inverse. So sine inverse of 3/4 is 0.848. And I'll go ahead and store that. And then for sine, to get our second answer, we're going to do pi minus x. And our second answer is 2.294. So there are two solutions that are between 0 and 2 pi. And if I wanted to write the all solutions version of the answer, I would say 0.848 plus 2 pi k, 2.294 plus 2 pi k,